Hey everyone, today I have a 30-minute banded Pilates workout for you today. It's full body and the band is totally optional. If you don't have one, don't worry about it. But if you do, go ahead and place your band around your legs about 2 inches above your knees. We're starting standing today. Once the band's around, start to give me head rolls in one direction, just warming everything up. And go the other direction. Nice, and start to give me some shoulder rolls going back. That band is around your knees, about 2 inches above your knees if you have it. If you don't worry. And shoulder rolls going forward, nice and easy. Turn this into arm circles, big arm circles going back. Stretch the arms, stretch the shoulders, and switch directions, arm circles going forward. Good, catch the arms at the top, give me a nice side bend to the right. And switch sides, side bend over to the left. Good. Step your feet a little bit wider than hip width apart and start to squat it down nice and slow and stand back up. Low and slow. Make sure your knees are over your ankles. Tailbone goes back like you're sitting in a chair. Chest stays nice and proud. Good. So there's tension on that band. Your feet are a little bit wider than hip width apart. Down and stand and squeeze. And if it's ever too much with the band, you could go ahead and let it go. All of this can be done without a band. Good, really send that tailbone back. Squeeze your glutes up at the top. Hold the squat down nice and low. And start to walk forward, right, left, stand and squat, monster walks, and go backwards, left, right, stand and squat. So alternating legs going forward, stay low in that squat. Give me 2 monster walks forward, 1 squat, get back down, 2 monster walks going back, 1 squat. Good, start to pick up the pace here. Nice, keep sending that tailbone back. Squeeze glutes at the top each time you stand. Gotta stay nice and low. Good, last one each direction. Good, shake it out. Take your arms out to the side and start to give me flappy birds. Palms pressed down, flap those arms like they're bird wings. Feet are about hip width apart here. I want you to engage your core. Knees will be slightly bent. Tuck the pelvis so we're not arching the back. So yes, we are working the shoulders and the back, but I want your core to stay nice and involved here too. Core tight. Good. Flap those arms. They're slightly bent. Try to flap the entire arm, not just the wrist. Core tight. Move a little bit faster here. Hold the arms still and bend the arms for goalpost arms. Newspaper. Close the book and open the book. Engaging your scapula. So arms are at 90-degree angles, opening and closing without arching your back. Elbows go directly to the side and then close the book right in front of you. Good, 90 degrees. And again, core tight, hips slightly tucked and knees slightly bent here. Your feet are about hip width apart. The band is just around your legs. Good. Opening and closing. Try to keep those elbows at shoulder height. Squeeze your scapula together like you're squeezing a pencil each time you open those arms. Without arching your back. Good. Last one. And shake the arms out. Feet are a little bit wider than your hips here and squat it down. Hold the squat. Send your tailbone back, knees over your ankles, and raise your arms up overhead. You're in a long diagonal, energy through the fingertips, shoulders down. Going for lat pull downs here. Pull those elbows in towards your rib cage and send it back out over your head. Elbows in, squeeze towards your rib cage and extend back up. Lat pull downs. Good. Stay in that squat position so knees are bent. Try to get 1 more inch down. Send that tailbone back so there's less tension in your knees. Knees drive back. Good. Shoulders away from your ears. Down and squeeze. Glide that scapula down. Try to have space between your chin and chest. Good. Can you get 1 inch lower in that squat? Last one. Hold. Core tight. Good. And hamstring stretch. Hands down to the mat. If you have that band, go ahead and send it around your ankles. Just drop it a little bit lower. Take a few bends, stretches of the legs. And together we're going to walk all the way out to a high plank. If you have that band, again, it is around your ankles. High plank. We're going for leg kickbacks. Start to raise your left leg back behind you, squeeze the glute, and switch right leg back behind you, squeeze the glute. Good, we're adding a double pulse. So kick, kick, lower, alternate legs, kick, kick, lower. In that high plank, feel that burn with that band. Feet are hip width apart, so there's tension on the outside and tension when you kick those legs back. Hips are slightly tucked. Good. Kick, kick, and lower. Navel up into spine. Arms are slightly bent. As you take those kicks, the legs are stretched, the feet are flexed. Good. Double kicks back. Let's get 1 more each side. Nice. And we're taking it all the way down to your stomach. Keep that band around your ankles. Feet are hip width apart. Point the toes. Hand over hand. We're going to go for back sit-ups here. Elbows out to the side. Hands are over your forehead and start to lift your upper back and lower down. Squeeze the glutes. Hips stay down. Legs stay down. You can also take your hands behind your head for these back sit-ups. Try to get your shoulders away from your ears. Inhale to prepare. Exhale, lift and crunch. Nice. Slow and steady. And keep the gaze focusing down. Take your time. Resisting on the way up. Controlling on the way down. Legs stay stable. Good, and let's hold this one up as high as you can. Elbows are wide to the side. Can you lift a little bit higher? Keep those hips on the mat. Good, hold and squeeze a little bit higher. Hold, hold, hold. Nice, and let's reverse it. Quick child's pose. Stretch that back. Catch your breath, relax your shoulders. Nice. Now we're going to take this into a forearm plank. That band stays around your ankles. So we're on your forearms and toes. I'm there, you're there. Good, hips are slightly tucked. Feet are about hip width apart so there's tension on the band. Now walk your left foot out to the side, come back in, right foot out to the side, back in. So it's like a little dance with our feet. Out, in. Start to pick up the pace. Stretching and pulling that band as wide as you can when you step out. Pull right back into hip width. Good. Try to keep your butt down. Hips slightly tucked so we're not arching our back, but also we're not piking our hips too high. Good. Shoulders stay nice and strong. Belly button into your spine. Fight for it. One more each side. Hold the plank. Hold the forearm plank. Hold and squeeze. Good. And child's pose. Nicely done. Catch your breath. Nice. I'm going to roll over to a seated position. Band can go back 2 inches above your knees. And we're going to flip onto our right side, laying all the way down. Knees are bent 90 degrees. We're clamming it out with the left leg. So start to lift the left knee, keeping the toes together. Lift and lower as high as you can without arching your back. Good, so knees are slightly in front of you. Lift and squeeze, there's tension on that band, and control and lower. And again, if any of this becomes too much with the band, you could always let that band go. Do the exercise without the band. Good, keep those toes together, keep the core tight, hips stable, lift and lower, just that left leg moves. Upper body can relax. Keep it going. Nice, and extend that left leg out nice and long. Foot is flexed. Start to lift that leg up and lower down. Lift and lower. So side lying leg extension. The left leg is nice and long. Try to get those toes pointing slightly down. Hip heel slightly up. Good, nice and parallel. Again, keep that core tight. Lift and lower. Good, now hold the leg up at hip height and we're bending the knee in right in front of our belly button and kicking out. Bend it in for 2, extend back out directly side. Good. So really resisting on the way in and also on the way as you press that foot back to the side. Good. Take your time. Try to keep that leg nice and level at hip height. You got it. Breathe through it. Don't let that knee drop down to the mat or open up to the ceiling right in front of you. Super parallel. Good. And last one, tap it out. Whoo, shake it out. Come up onto your right forearm. We're in a modified right side plank. Knees are together and lift those hips. Left arm finds the sky. Good. Make sure that right forearm is directly underneath your shoulder. Long straight line. Hips are pressed forward, so we're not piking back. So squeeze those glutes, and we're going for little hip lifts here. Tap the hips down and lift and crunch. You can also have that left hand on your hip or pressing down in front of you for a nice modification too. He's kind of in my way right now, otherwise I would show you. Lift and lower. Oh, he's being naughty boy in this video. Good, bear with me. Hold it up tight. high as you can. And we're gonna thread the needle around the roux. Inhale side, exhale lift and thread right between your arm, twisting your upper body towards the mat. Hips stay stable. Again, squeeze those glutes so we're not piking back. You got it. Take your time, slow and controlled. Keep those hips nice and high as you thread the needle. Hold it out to the side, lift up 1 more inch. Hold, open up that left shoulder. Good, and come down. Shake it out. Nice work. And we're gonna lay all the way down on our back. Keep that band around your knees, about 2 inches above your knees. Feet are hip width apart. Palms press flat into the mat and go ahead and lift those hips high. For a glute bridge, squeeze those glutes and lower. Again, lift all the way up, long straight diagonal line, and lower, tap it down. Now lift and pull that band apart at the height of your glute bridge. Knees go out to the side and tap back down. You can also do this even if you don't have a band. Lift, knees out to the side and lower just to activate those outer glutes. Good. As you lift, core in tight, lace that rib cage together. Keep those hips nice and high. If this is bothering your low back in any way, lower the hips about 1 inch. Good. Keep squeezing those glutes. Palms can press down into the mat to help with stability here. Dig through those heels as you lift those hips up high. Good, and let's hold this glute bridge up nice and high and just drive those knees out to the side. Pulse it out. Good, pulse and pulse. Squeeze those outer glutes. Try to lift those hips up 1 more inch if it isn't bothering your low back. Rib cage together. Pulse and squeeze. Good. 1 more. Hold it still. Lift the hips, squeeze the glutes, and gently roll all the way down. Hug those knees into your chest. Rock from side to side if that feels good. Nice. We're going to roll over to our left side to work the right leg, starting with that clam. So knees together, 90-degree angles, and start to lift that right knee open and close. Keeping those feet together, just the knee lifts. Core tight. Resist. Find that tension on that band. And again, if you feel like this is bothering your low back in any way with the band, try it without the band. Nice. So controlling on the way open and on the way closed. Don't let that band snap tight. Control it in. Relax that head, relax your shoulders, but keep that core engaged. Let's get 1 more and quickly tap it out. Stretch that right leg out to the side, flex the foot, lift the hip up, or lift the leg up and lower. Nice. Drop the toes slightly, flex the foot. Heel will lift slightly. Keep that right leg nice and long for your side lying leg extension. Good. Resist that band. Lift and lower. Squeezing that outer glute, outer thigh. Without arching your back here. Try to have a neutral spine. Let's hold this one up at hip height and start to bend that knee into your chest and stretch it right back out. So knee goes right in front of your belly button like you're sitting in a chair. Use the strength of that outer thigh and outer glute to not drop that knee down to the mat. Slow and controlled. Then pull in for 2. Press back out for 2. Slow and steady. Nice. Core tight. Resist. Use the strength of that right leg to keep that band apart. Try not to touch knee to knee. Good. I know this one's killer. And tap it out. Awesome work. We're going to prop ourselves up onto that left forearm for a modified left side plank. Open that right arm up to the sky. And just test yourself. Make sure that elbow is right underneath your shoulder. Squeeze your glutes. Press your hips gently forward. And we're going for those hip dips. Tap the mat and lift. Good. You're going to feel your left oblique on this side. And that top arm can be extended, or you could take it to your hip, maybe in front of the mat for a little extra support. Totally up to you. Good. Take your time. Down, squeeze, lift. Inhale, exhale, lift. And hold this one up. We're going for a thread the needle. Without sending those hips back, squeeze the glutes, keep the hips stable. Thread the upper body, twisting your left oblique like you're wringing out a towel, twisting towards the mat, and then open right back outside without arching your back. Good. Hold this one out to the side and shake it out. Awesome work. We're going to lay it all the way back down onto your back. Feet are hip width apart. Lift those hips up to your glute bridge and lift the heels at your highest glute bridge. Lower the heels, lower the hips. A little coordination. Lift the hips, lift the heels, lower the heels. Tap the hips down. You got it. At your own pace. Start to pick up the pace a little bit, driving those knees forward, lifting onto our toes as we lift those heels. Press the arms by your side. Good. So feet are about hip width apart here. There's tension on that band. Try not to let those knees knock in. Squeeze those glutes. And let's hold the hips up, hold the heels up nice and high. We're pulsing the hips up with the heels up. Good, little pulses. Drive that rib cage in. Squeeze those glutes as hard as you can. Knees drive forward. Little pulses. Hold everything still, hold and squeeze. Gently lower the heels first and then gently lower the hips. Hug those knees into your chest. And we're taking that band, if you have it, around the arches of your feet. Good. Rock and roll up to a seated position and come back onto your forearms. Legs go into tabletop, they're about hip width apart. And start to extend those legs out in front of you for a little core work. Exhale, low core drives you right back in. So we're on our forearms. Inhale out, extend, low core in, exhale, drive your knees back to tabletop. Good, so everything from the core. Legs out nice and long, keep the toes pointed, exhale, drive back. Chest stays nice and proud, try not to sink down in those shoulders. Chin away from your chest. Good. Rue's being very naughty, but also very sweet. Look at him being sweet. He won't let me drop my legs, that's for sure. Keep it going. Keep pulling that belly button into your spine. Let's get one more. And lay all the way down. Hands go behind your head, elbows wide. Feet are in tabletop. And lift and crunch. Tabletop crunches. So point the toes. That band is still around the arches of your feet if you have it. And picking up the pace for these tabletop crunches. Inhale down, exhale, lift and crunch. Try to keep the legs nice and stable. You're lifting and crunching up to your legs. Don't let them move.
Samurai sword on my back.
Relax your head into your hands so we're not holding tension in our neck.
Maybe you should relax. Maybe you should relax.
Try to keep your back on the mat. Good. Let's hold the crunch and just give me little pulses here. Lowering that belly button down to your spine, little pulses. Try to lift so high that you lift your shoulders off the mat. Good. Hold it still, lift and crunch, and we're turning this into bicycles. Switch opposite elbow to opposite knee, pulling tension on that band. Try to tear it apart. Lift and crunch and twist. Feet are nice and flexed so you can get good resistance on that band. Good. Switch. And switch. Take deep breaths. Pull that belly button into your spine. Lift and twist. And start to pick up the pace here. Switch and switch. You got it. Opposite elbow to opposite knee, but lifting so high that your opposite shoulder comes off the mat. Really breathing into those obliques. Good. One more each side and hug those knees into your chest. Awesome work. You did it. That band can come off. Rock from side to side. We're going to stay and stretch here. Moving into a figure 4. Left over right. Grab the back of that right leg. Gently use your left elbow to press that left knee out to the side. Keep your tailbone on the mat. And if you'd like a deeper stretch, stretch that right leg up to the sky. You could grab onto the calf or ankle. Keeping that tailbone flat on the mat. Good. Now look at him. He's knocked out now. I'm telling you. Good. Breathe into it. And let's switch sides. Just a quick little stretch. Grab the back of that left leg. Gently use your right elbow to find a little bit more turnout with that right leg. Drawing that leg into your chest. And if you want a little bit more, stretch that left leg. Grab onto the ankle or calf. That feels good. Nice, and release the legs, hug them into chest, and rock and roll all the way up to a seated position. Forward fold, legs out in front of you, and grab onto your feet. You can point or flex the feet for an added stretch, totally up to you. Legs out long, relax nose to knees. Give those hamstrings a little extra love. And we're gonna roll onto our stomachs, stretch the back, hips press down, shoulders away from your ears. Little back stretch here. Tuck the toes back, lift the hips up high for a down dog. And paddle the feet. Spine stays long and strong. Dig both heels down. And walk your hands back to meet your feet. Hang in your forward fold. Bend the knees. And stretch, really release that low back, drop the head. Again, bend. And stretch. And this time hold the bend and slowly roll all the way up to standing nice and slow. Take your time, big shoulder roll back at the top. Catch your breath. Awesome work today. I hope you enjoyed this week's workout, and I'll see you again next week.